lessons. I'm instructor Dwayne Jenkins, and thank you so much for being here today. What we're going to be doing today is working on how to strum guitar chords, and we're going to take some ideas from this book here. It's called Learn to Play Rhythm Guitar, Comprehensive Training Course, a book that I wrote to help beginners with getting started playing guitar, and other people as well. Even if you have gotten started and you want to improve your rhythm playing, this book can show you how to do that. It shows you all kinds of really cool chords and strumming techniques and pagiating and all kinds of stuff, how to read notes and all kinds of stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about strumming, because it's the strumming that brings the chords to life. That's what really creates the chords, makes them sound like music. Okay, if you're just forming chords, you know, that's not going to do any good. It's what the picking hand's doing, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to use 3 chords that are very common in hundreds, probably thousands of songs. So you learn these 3 chords and you learn to do some basic strumming, you can play all kinds of songs, okay? So the chords that we're going to use is our G major, right here at the 3rd fret, our C major was right below it, and our D major. These 3 chords are common in hundreds of songs. You learn these songs and how to do some strumming, I'm sorry, not these songs, these chords. You learn these chords and some strumming, and you'll be able to play all kinds of songs, a lot of them, okay? So what we're going to do, once again, G, C, and D. And if you don't know how to form these or play these chords, this book right here will show you how to do it, okay? Now, the first thing you want to do is develop strumming downward. Down, okay? Like this. Just real even tempo, strumming down. Especially if you're just getting started, okay? You're just getting started, you got a guitar, you've never really played it before, or maybe you're having some problems with your strumming, because that's one thing that I noticed about a lot of people that I've taught over the years, that, you know, I get a few of them come to me and they know their chords, but they're just not good with the strumming part of it. First of all, learn how to strum downward in a very even tempo, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then go to the next chord, the C chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't really matter how many times you do it. I would recommend doing at least 4 or 8 times, okay? Because music is normally, well, at least rock and roll music is normally in 4/4 time, which, you know, 4 beats per measure. So you just go through the chords. Now we're on D, and we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you do that, you have G, C, D, and if you do that with just down picking, okay, down picking, develop that, okay. And start off slow, like what I'm doing here, and then once you get the technique down, you can do it a little bit quicker, and you can play a song like this. Just take those old records off the shelf, I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul, I like that old time of rock and roll. Now see how we did that with just strumming down? Okay, so those are quarter notes. They're usually counted 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would highly recommend counting, okay? If you don't want to count out loud, that's fine. Count in your head. Whatever it is, just count. Okay, get that internal clock inside you working, because all musicians have to have this internal clock inside them, especially if you want to play with other musicians, okay? You've got to develop that. It's very, very important. So I would highly recommend starting with your quarter notes, down, and count 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the next chord, okay? You can play them 4 times or 8 times. It doesn't really matter, whatever's best for you. Tempo, you can do it at fast, slow, whatever's, you know, is at your level of learning at this moment in time, okay? Now the second thing we want to do with our strumming is we want to develop strumming down and back up, okay? And the count for this is, this would be an 8th note, which is like 2 quarter notes tied together, and it'd be like a 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and, 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 okay? Now I know that sounds mechanical, doing it right now, but I'm just talking about learning the technique, okay, the concept and the technique. And once you get that down, then you go through the chord progression and you can do it a little bit smoother. And if we use that example that we had before with that song, so the song that I'm using is a song called Old Time Rock and Roll by Bob Seger, a very popular song. And it just uses these three chords, G, C, D, back to G. Now what we're going to do is the same example that I did before, but we're going to use the up and down picking like this. Just take those old records off the shelf. I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time of rock and roll. So now it sounds a little bit more like the song, okay, because we're strumming down and up, all right? Now, what you want to do is get these techniques developed. Strumming down and back up. And then once you do, you can finesse it a little bit and make it sound even more like the song. Like this. Just take those old records off the shelf. I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time of rock and roll. Call me a rebel, call me what you will. Say I'm old-fashioned, say I'm over the hill. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time of rock and roll. So that was basically the same thing that I just taught you, but we just kind of finessed the strumming a little bit, and it just sounded a little bit more like the song. And this can be done with, you know, tons of songs you could do this with. Okay, here's another one. This is a song by U2 called I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. And we're going to use the same thing real quick here. So we're going to, but this one is just going to be C, F right below it, and G. And what I love about the C chord is it's a really good jumping off point. You could take, if you know your C major chord, okay, if you just bring these two fingers down, boom, there's your F chord. Okay, right below it. Look how simple that is to transition from C major to F major. C, F, C, F, C, F. And then if you're on C and you bring the fingers up, but keep that one where it is, now you got G major. And then take that finger off and bring down your pinky, which is a little bit trickier, but G, there's G, C, F, C, G, C, F. And the song by U2 called I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For just uses those three chords. So it's using C, I have run, oh no, it goes I have climbed highest mountain, I have run through the field only to be with you, only to be with you, but I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And see how I just strummed downward and add some melody, and it was just C to F, C to F, and then it went G to F, back to C on the chorus. Now, if we did that with, you know, strumming up and down, I have climbed highest mountain, I have run through the fields only to be with you, only to be with you, but still haven't found what I'm looking for. Now you can see how that's more developing into the song like what we did before with the other one. And once again, if we do that same technique where we just finesse the strumming, then it sounds a bit more like the song. I have run. Sorry, I gotta get the words right. All right. I have climbed highest mountain. I have run through the fields only to be with you, only to be with you. Okay, see how that works? You just work on those techniques, you get the concepts down, you finesse them, and then all of a sudden you got a great song. Here's another one. This is Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones. Uses those 3 chords that we just used, plus it uses the D chord. Now another thing we want to learn too as well, as I show you in the book, is another strumming pattern, triplets, okay, where you're using a down, up, down. So you've got your quarter notes where it's just straight 1, 2, 3, 4. You got your eighth notes, which is 1 and 2 quarter notes tied together. Then you have triplets where you're going to tie 3 of them together and do a 1 and up, 1 and up, or triplet, triplet. Either or, doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. Okay, and if we do that same thing, let's say we do the same kind of G, C, D. See how that works, how it just created a totally different rhythm. So just a triplet on each chord except for the G we held for 2. 1, 2, 3 on the G, on the D, 1, 2, 3 on the C, and 1, 2, 3 twice on the G. And now we got a song. And if we throw an E minor in there, okay, and we finesse it a little bit just like we did the other one, then we could do this song here by the Traveling Wilburys called Handle with Care, and it starts D once again, D, C, G, and it throws E minor in there. Watch, it goes like this. Been beat up and battered around, been set up and I've been shot down. You're the best thing that I've ever found. Handle me with care. See how that worked? And so what you do is work on your strumming, okay? Work on these different strumming patterns, different strumming techniques, I guess you could say, and then you put them into patterns, and once you put them into patterns and you get the chords together, then you start really sounding really good, and then you can start developing to playing all kinds of great songs. Okay, so if you need some help, be sure to check out my method book, Learn to Play Rhythm Guitar, comprehensive training course. It'll show you all the chords you need. I have chord diagrams in here. I show you how to read the chord charts. I show you all kinds of great chords, you know, your majors, your minors, all the great chords that are in a lot of songs, your favorite songs that you hear, hand positioning, how to tune the guitar, your majors, your minors. We go into bar chords, which I'll be doing lessons on that later. Basic chord theory, how to switch chords easier, how to mute strings for a percussive sound, which we'll probably do some lessons on that later, some finger dexterity exercises, how to play your 7 chords, which are really popular in a lot of songs, how to arpeggiate chords. I also have some learning assessments in here to make sure that you understand the material real well. I've got pictures in here, show you how to read the chord charts, give you pictures of the chord charts as well, just for reference. This is a great reference book as well because it has a lot of pictures in here that's going to show you like how to read the chord charts, how to read them in tablature format as well, which is really good because it's real popular on the internet nowadays. Okay, so if you learn how to read tablature and chord charts, then you'll be able to just go onto the internet and pick up, you know, choose any song you want to learn, and it's out there in those formats. Okay, and I show you about chord progressions, things like that, and you learn these things, and before you know it, you'll start hearing songs in them. You'll say, hey, that sounds like that one song that I like, or whatever, because they all use these techniques and these concepts. All right, so if you're interested in getting this book, I have it in 2 formats. I have it in a paperback format like this. You can find that in my Etsy store, my Etsy online bookstore. That's I'll leave you a link below, and I also have it in digital format. And you can find that on my website at dwaynesguitarlessons.com. I like to put it in both formats because some people like kind of a physical format and some people like more of a digital format. So depending on what you like, you can find it. I'll leave you the links below in the description box. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. That's one thing I love about YouTube, is that we can communicate. You know, if you have some questions, you can let me know. And if you're self-conscious about leaving a question for the, you know, and letting everybody see, just contact me on my website and I'll help you out. Okay? So keep practice your strumming. Okay? That's what I want you to do for this lesson, is practice your strumming. Get your strumming down. Work on a few chords. G, C, and D is great. And work on that strumming, finessing your strumming. Before you know it, you'll be playing all kinds of great songs. All right? So until next time, take care.
Audio Jungle.